Hi friends, welcome back to the Expeditionary Johnny channel. Today we're going to learn to make a gill net. Alright, so one of the things I enjoy about getting outdoors is that I'm actually enjoying my second childhood. I get to go out, I play around, I can use my imagination to play around. That's partly why I work with my 4-H club. I have an outdoor skills club, and basically I'm encouraging children to get outdoors and giving them ideas on how they can play around and learn skills. Whether it's taking a mess kit to pretend you're behind the enemy lines, or here, like you're on the Alone show and you're making a gill net so you can go catch some fish. So right here what I have is some of the works that the children from my club made. I showed them how the basic knot to make a gill net using, a method that uses a lot of area. There is another cleaner method where you use a needle net, and I'll show that on another video. But for here, you can see each of the children, they all got to work on it, and this one the moms used the inner strands from a paracord to make her own gill net. Now this one's a bit looser. Now for the children, what I found for good practice is I've just got a piece of paracord here, and then I've got this tarred bank line. This is 36. It's nice and big for their hands, for their fingers to work with, till they at least get used to it. Then they can go to something a bit finer. So let me go ahead and show you how I showed it to the children. Okay, for this method, we're going to go ahead and take our cordage. We're going to fold it in half and make a bite. We're going to take this top loop, the bite, wrap it around our paracord, and then take our two loose ends and feed it through here to make a lark's head. Now you might recognize this. This is very similar to a prusik knot. Prusik knot is very popular on ridge lines when you're setting up a tarp. That's good for locking again. But for now, we're just doing a plain old lark's head, and I'm going to attach 5 pieces of cordage onto the paracord here. So I'll bring you back when I have all 5 lines attached. Okay, now that I've attached all 5 lines here, let's go ahead and start making our gill net. Now this is just for demonstration purposes. Obviously for a real gill net, you're going to have much more cordage going to your left and to your right, depending on how wide you want it. And then the length of your cordage is going to be for the depth of how far down you want it to go into your stream. All right, so the first knot we want to do is we're going to take the inner cordage, let's say from my right hand, this will be on your left. We're going to take the inner line to the next set of cordage next to it, and we're going to bring them together. And you can already start making a little triangle like you're making a net. Now for this knot, it's very simple. It's just an overhand knot. The key is trying to hold this tight to try to keep it in place. So you just go ahead, wrap it around, make your little loop, your little hole there, and feed your cordage through that. Like so. See how I'm doing that? And then you tighten it down. Just like so. Now for our next knot, we're going to take the inner line, that's like from where we attached it, into this outer line right here. Now we're going to bring it together to make another little triangle. And we're going to make the exact same overhand knot. Just like so. And you want to try to be as consistent as possible. See how that's starting to come together? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 lines, and it really helps the children. It's like when you take all the excess lines and move them out of the way so they can see what they're focusing on. So right here we got these 2. We're going to bring it together as a triangle like so. And we're going to go ahead and make another knot. Make our little loop. Feed it through there. And I'm going to work that knot up here to try to get it as consistent as possible. Now this is, we're going to say, not the neatest method, but it is very simple. just like that. Okay, so the recording is looking good, so let's go ahead and show you how to the next level. So we take, once again, we separate our lines. We can get this one out of the way. Now let's go ahead and combine these two lines. Again, overhand knot. Made that one a little small. After you do this, you can see why you might want to use a net needle. A net needle, once you get the technique down, is very relaxing because it does a lot of the work for you. All right, so you can see we've made another loop. Now to go work on the outside to keep extending our net, now we can tie these two together. All right, so you can see it's starting to come together. So I'm going to go ahead and keep tying the same pattern here. And I'll bring you back when I've got it more finished and then how we attach it to our bottom paracord. All right, so I've done my gill net. I've tied it all the way down to the depth I want to get to. So how do we finish this off? All right, so what I've done is I've run another length of paracord here. And so for our bottom, let's just go ahead and tie this off. Now, I'm big on simplicity, especially if it's your first time out. So what I would do, just to keep it simple, is just do a simple square knot. I would take one rope, one piece of cordage, wrap it around like so. Take your other length of cordage, wrap it in the opposite direction like this. And now we can go ahead and tie it together. Now, I do want to adjust the depth here a little bit. That's a bit much. We have our two ends here, they're opposing each other. And so it's just going to be left over right and right over left, or if you do it the other way, right over left and then left over right. That should stay. Then we just do it, repeat. I take this one end, wrap it around, take this other piece, wrap it around the opposite direction. Get out of the way. Take this other piece, wrap it around the opposite direction, bring them together. Let's tie a square knot. Same here. We're going to take this one working in, we're going to wrap it around this direction. We're going to take this cordage, wrap it around the opposite direction. Let's make another square knot. All right, so here we have it. Okay, so I finished up my section of the gill net. I went ahead and attached it to a bottom paracord. Here we've got another section from one of the kids from the club. And if you want it, you can just kind of run like a Larks head or prusik nut and kind of lace it in between the two to attach them if you want to work in sections. You can also use different types of materials, like this is the inner lining from paracord. All right, so that's all there is to it. You can use a simple overhand knot and a square knot, and you can get the job done. All right, well, I hope this inspires you to get out and try different things. You guys have a great week. See y'all next time.